Hello Nidorinas and Nidorinos, it is KingNido here and we're coming to you from Pastoria City where the Cascade are hosting the Levia Candy Hearts. And the Candy Hearts have lost their last 3 games and they do not want to have that happen here again today, as they are trying desperately to get into a Leaders 8 position, which the Cascade are currently in, sitting in 11th place at risk of falling out. So let us know in the comments below who you think will win. Will it be the Water types or will it be the Fairy types? As I said, the Levia Candy Hearts sitting in 16th place as they start out with Grimmsnarl and Carbink. It'll be Greninja and Clawitza starting out for the Pastoria Cascade, and immediately Grimmsnarl is going to go for the Fury Cutter, but it doesn't affect Greninja. What has happened there? Okay, that's really strange, but an Aqua Step from Greninja is going to activate that Protein ability and change it into a Water-type Pokemon, and it immediately goes for Grimmsnarl, gets a great hit there, and it is going to boost its speed as well, so it should be the quickest on the field now, surely, but a Charge Beam from Clawitza to follow up onto Grimmsnarl. Good hit there. It's also going to boost that special attack of Clawitza, as Carbink with the Brutal Swing is going to hit everybody on the field. Not very effective on Grimmsnarl, thankfully, who is its teammate, but Grimmsnarl with the Horn Drill gets the one-hit KO move onto Clawitza. Clearly not very happy with how its matchup started with that Fury Cutter, which I'm still confused about, so let me know what you think. But the Aurora Beam from Greninja almost eliminates Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl's able to hold on, and Carbink responding with the Headlong Rush gets a really good hit there onto Greninja, but it does lower Carbink's defense and special defense, which are both very impressive at base 150 each. And Inteleon comes out for the Pastoria Cascade, stomping Tantrum now from Grimmsnarl onto Greninja. Greninja holds on and responds with the Pound, taking Grimmsnarl out, immediately leveling the playing field. A great response there by Grimmsnarl, as Inteleon follows it up with the Charge Beam onto Carbink, gets a good hit, and Carbink is going to respond with the Power Split, so it is going to share its power with Inteleon, and Carbink only has 50 base total in its offensive stats, as Fluttermane comes out for the Candy Hearts, and a Boom Burst from Greninja. It won't affect Fluttermane, but not very effective on Carbink. Actually did more damage to its own teammate Inteleon, and we get the Dig now from Fluttermane, who's going to bury its way under the ground. We'll see what happens in the next turn, but Inteleon now with the Cosmic Power, and with that it does boost its defense and its special defense. Carbink responding for its side with the Dazzling Gleam, and that eliminates Greninja. Inteleon is able to hold on, but remember that Dig is coming shortly. First though, Floatzel comes out for the Pastoria Cascade, and there's Fluttermane finishing off Inteleon. The Levia Candy Hearts are building some fantastic momentum right now, as Floatzel is going to go with the Icicle Crash now onto Fluttermane. Fantastic hit. Carbink responding for its side yet again with the Smart Strike. This move will not miss, but unfortunately it's not very effective there onto Floatzel. And out comes Raichu in its Alolan form for the Pastoria Cascade. It is the Terrestrial Pokemon, so immediately it sheds that Psychic Electric typing and becomes the Water type. It does still have that stab in both those typings, as though it just gains that extra bit with the Water typing it now has. And Fluttermane immediately going with the Moonlight. It is going to restore some much needed health. Should almost get itself back to full strength. Floatzel with the Withdraw is going to boost its defense. And Raichu going with the last respects onto Carbink and gets the elimination. A fantastic hit there by Raichu. A much needed elimination for the Pastoria Cascade. And out comes Hatterene, as Fluttermane with the Roar is going to send Floatzel back to the bench. And there is only one Pokemon that we don't know on the Cascade, and that is Dondozo, who gets dragged out onto the field. Raichu going with the Spite. It is going to lower the PP of Fluttermane, and it does not want to run out of that, because then it will begin to struggle and do damage to itself. Hatterene with the Reflect is going to make the Candy Hearts stronger against physical type moves. Fluttermane follows it up with the Crunch, and normally this would be super effective onto a Alolan Raichu. Still gets a great hit there. And Raichu responds with the Seismic Toss onto Hatterene, as Dondozo looks to follow it up with the Thunder. But Hatterene gets out of the way. Hatterene now going with the Extreme Speed onto Raichu. Gets a fantastic hit there. Fluttermane now with the Horn Leech, and this will be super effective onto Dondozo. Is also going to steal some of that health and actually get Fluttermane back to full strength. Fantastic plays there by Fluttermane, as Raichu with the Pain Split. A fantastic response. Raichu sharing its pain with Fluttermane, so it actually gets its own health restored here. And then the Sleep Powder from Dondozo, but Hatterene yet again avoids a move from Dondozo and responds with the Slam onto Raichu and eliminates Raichu with the critical hit. Fantastic. That pain split was not enough to keep Raichu in this matchup, and we know that Floatzel will be coming back out onto the field now. And we get the Spore from Fluttermane, immediately putting Floatzel to sleep on this battlefield, which means it will not be able to go on the offensive. It will be snoozing there in the matchup. Dondozo is going to have to do all the heavy lifting for the time being, and it is going to go with the Headbutt. And it won't affect Fluttermane, that Ghost typing coming into advantage, as the Charge Beam from Hatterene, super effective onto the sleeping Floatzel, is also going to boost Hatterene's special attack, and it's already at 136. Nasty Plot now from Fluttermane is going to boost its own special attack a great deal, which is at 135 base, and Floatzel is still fast asleep. It needs to wake up as Dondozo with the Screech. And yet again, Hatterene avoids a move from Dondozo. This allows it to go for the Bitter Blade in response, which Dondozo heavily tanks as it's not very effective. Hatterene is able to restore a tiny bit of health though that it took from Dondozo with that move, and the Reflect has worn off for the Levia Candy Hearts. Fluttermane now going with the Psychic, and Floatzel will be eliminated from the matchup. It didn't even get to wake up. Dondozo was all by itself. It's got 5 fairy types to contend with, and it goes with the Disable, finally connecting with Hatterene. It will be disabled, so it will be struggling on the field, and it will get recoil damage when it does. But we get the Giga Impact first from Fluttermane onto Dondozo. Now that will cause Fluttermane to have to recharge, so Dondozo immediately goes with the Pluck onto Hatterene. Is going to take its Leopard Berry and chow down on it after stealing that food. Does get in an okay hit onto the Psychic Fairy type as well, but Hatterene, having no moves left due to that disable, will struggle, doing a little bit of damage to Dondozo, but gets that recoil damage. Fluttermane having to recharge after that Giga Impact, so Dondozo is going to go with the Chloroblast, and this will get a good hit on Fluttermane, but that recoil damage will actually eliminate the Water type Pokemon from this match, and it gives the victory to the Levia Candy Hearts. They have ended their 3-game losing streak with a really impressive and much needed victory over the Water types, and this will move them up into 15th place, whereas the Cascade will stay in 11th place, and next round they will be taking on the Fortree Tempest, whereas the Candy Hearts next round will be taking on the Saffron Powerlings. But until then, Nidorinas and Nidorinos, thank you so much for watching. Let us know in the comments below who you thought was the best on field. If you enjoyed what you saw, please leave a like, share, subscribe, but more importantly, always remember, you are awesome, and I'll see you when you see me.